YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We got a video by ItzKish, the king of degenerate anime. Holy smokes, who is the king? I've watched a lot of degenerate animes in my time, a lot of hentai, a lot of crazy stuff. So let's just see what is the most degenerate anime by ItzKish. Let's go.
A strong personal desire.
This anime is horny.
I have a strong personal desire to wear a thong.
This anime is really horny. This anime is a Discord mod power fantasy, the peak of degeneracy. So the Eminence in the Shadow, often described as a blend between One Punch Man, every isekai ever, and hentai. Now, while that may seem kind of shit, you're gonna see this is one of the greatest pump fakes in anime history, because beyond the killer jiggle physicsy over-the-top battles, what lies beneath is an anime that took this concept and blend seriously and made something unique that you can sink your teeth into. Okay, maybe that was a poor choice of words.
No, I gotta disagree. It's not the most horniest anime. I feel like it has great writing. That's one thing which I gotta say about Eminence in Shadow. The writing is impeccable. But over time, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm one of those people where season 2, I was kind of disinterested. I think I was in a weird place in my life. So some of the jokes, the sarcasm, and the way how things were set up, I didn't like them. But hey, I'm not going to be a judge. Maybe it's just me. But I don't think this is the most degenerate anime.
Isekai, you have your typical fat, lonely loser. He goes outside, gets hit by a truck, and then becomes the ultimate badass with a harem and abs. And what a foolish plot. The Eminence in the Shadow would never do that. Here we have our main character, Sid, who is not a loser in the real world, but an actual badass who manages to pull a girl in the first episode. Jesus Christ, Deku had a whole series and couldn't do it. Here we got it done in the first episode, you bum. And if he pulled a girl in the real world, you can only imagine how many he pulls when he gets hit by a truck.
He's not the only one. A lot of isekais nowadays, they do pull girls. Some, it takes a while. Some, yeah. I'm watching a new one that just came out, and yeah, the guy did pull a girl first episode. Not even pull the girl, some action. You hear me?
The answer is 1,000, by the way. Like, literally 1,000. And despite the fact that Sid is a badass, the real catch is that he wants to be a background character. Kinda. You see, Sid is like Batman, where Batman has Bruce Wayne by day, Sid has Shadow by night. And only his legion of 1,000 waifus know his dual identity, constantly having to duck and weave between personalities to hide his true identity, not because of anything like danger to his family and friends. No, nothing stupid like that. The reason he doesn't want anyone to know who he is because it would ruin his power fantasy. Yes, I know. I
think that whole trope started becoming a bit lame for me because he was being too nonchalant. I feel like it got to a point where the way he was so nonchalant, it became over. Like it became too much. It was like, okay, cool. I get you're not trying to be the whole main character, but come on, dude. Like, I'm watching a show of a guy that doesn't even want to be a part of the show. Like, that's what it started giving off, you know?
If you're watching one of my videos, you gotta be pretty dumb because I'm a dumbass. So let me break down this meta Twilight Zone-esque complex we got going on here. So Sid is an anime character who got isekai'd into a world where he has a harem and is super powerful, but he's making up these stories of villains and conflicts for him and his wife who's to go pretend to be. You following? I know this is a little...
And that's also another problem. The whole pretentious and good writing, the story writing of him being in the fictional stories, oh my gosh, that really started becoming a little bit weird for me. It got to a point where, like, okay, cool. The first time they did it, it was cool. The second time, it was okay. The third and fourth and fifth and sixth, and they're like, what am I watching? Like, am I watching a power fantasy? Yes, I know that's isekai. But am I watching a fictional of a fiction of a fiction? I'm even confusing myself. It just became underwhelming at the end. The stories became underwhelming. The scenes just started becoming a bit goofy. At the end, it just didn't hit the same, you know?
A little bit weird. Because of the fact that Sid is making up everything, he doesn't believe any of the shit that's going on is real. He thinks they're paid actors, he thinks that his waifu set it up for him, and they're just playing along with him. But the catch is, everything he's saying and all the villains and conflicts he's talking about, it's all actually true. And Berserk, who? One Piece, what? Is that not the greatest piece of storytelling you've ever heard? Nah.
No, it's terrible. No, it's not.
Jokes aside, it leads to really funny moments, but it does lead you to think, like, why do you actually watch it then? What is the story, or is it just waifus running around BSing? And the only real answer about the story is that it is completely indescribable, and we'll see the characters.
I would say the reason why, because the first season, honestly, like, it had some tropes and things that I haven't seen before in other animes. The way how it's structured like this, is really incredible. Season 1, I was a big fan. It was new, it was fresh. Now season 2, it's like, okay, cool, we've seen season 1. Season 2 was just like, okay, like, where are we going, you know?
The story take dark turns, as well as the waifus being way more waifu-y than you may expect, so look out for that. So what I'm getting at is that basically Sid's desire to live out a power fantasy has given the author agency to basically write whatever he wants. Do we want to have a plot where a princess pays Sid to be her boyfriend because she is betrothed to someone else and wants that guy to fuck off? But then it turns out that someone else not only is a douchebag, but he's an evil cultist that Shadow has to go defeat, and then through that process and time spent paying Sid and being saved by Shadow, the princess falls in love with both Sid and Shadow.
That was cool. That was season 1 stuff. Season 1 stuff was pretty peak.
You see, that's pretty cool. Or do we want a run of episodes where Sid joins a tournament under a false identity, where he destroys everyone until the very end, where he reveals he was Shadow the whole time?
So this is basically a recover of season 1, and this also was pretty cool. This story arc was cool. I liked season 1. Trust me, I'm not trying to hate on Shadow, Eminence, and Shadow. Season 1 was top tier. Season 2, we had seen it before. So what could be new and different from season 1? That's where I have a problem with.
And stops the undergoing plot that every tournament arc eventually has. So basically every storyline just skips the intro and just has rising action, climax, and falling action, just yeeting out the beginning and the end. And at first it's really jarring. You're gonna feel like you accidentally clicked on the wrong season between each episode because it's like, what the hell is going on sometimes? But oddly enough, after a while you get used to it and you actually kind of like it. You dig it. It's different. What makes it really interesting is when there's two storylines going on with both Sid and Shadow, and how the writer plays with the concept of Sid not really being virtuous. We see him simp for money all the time. We see Sid lie and deceive his waifus. But if there's one scene that uses degeneracy to explain the overlap between Sid and Shadow, there's none better than this scene in the back.
This was the greatest scene I'd ever seen. Like, this was the one. I love this scene so much. This one actually I would put it up there as one of the greatest scenes in anime. But then season 2 doesn't have that.
Might I ask you to stop glancing over at my Excalibur?
You call that thing you have Excalibur? I think the word you're looking for is worm.
You may come to find out that what you thought was a worm was a sword that was merely still contained in its sheath.
What do you mean?
When a holy sword is removed from its sheath, its sparkling blade is set free to plunder the Garden of Chaos.
Well,
that scene was just amazing, dude. Like, that scene was so funny. Like, I rewatched that scene so many times because it was just funny. It was comedy gold, like, legit.
that was something. This is not even close to the peak of degeneracy we will reach. What this anime has created in terms of horniness, in terms of degeneracy, is one of the craziest anime episodes of all time, with many calling it basically an H anime. It's an episode that joins the ranks of Don and Arcane episode 7, something to rival the reveal of Gear 5, something that tops Goku going Super Saiyan. That being said,
Now that's overhyped. Now he's gassing it. Stop gassing it. That it's not that gas. It's cool. It's cool. It's not that much of a gas, you know?
it is time to talk about the might and the power of the Eminence of the Shadow Season 2 Episode 8. Our tale begins, like many in a cool anime morning. Sid's two friends burst into his room only to find nothing but a pair of tickets on his bed leading to the opening of a new spa center. They grab the tickets and immediately try and find waifus, only for the first waifu they ask to be a part of Sid's legion of waifus. Immediately upon interaction, the waifus feel that their leader Shadow is testing them to see if they'll notice the larger plot going on at the spa. They deliberate and decide.
This is where I think season 2 became so corny. I think we'd seen it all, and it was just like, dude, like, it's not like the things that they're doing. It's not that serious, and Sid is not taking it that serious, and that's where it's like, okay, if he's not taking it that serious, then why should I like take it seriously? Like what? That's when I started like losing interest. I don't even think I finished season 2 because it just started becoming a bore. Like it became boring. I'm like, damn. Like I feel like now the story is like, okay, cool. We shined in season 1. Now season 2, we're trying to regain the shine of season 1. So yeah,
that there must be something waiting for them. So they decide to go to the spa, a place of freedom, a place of degeneracy, a place where man and woman alike lose control of their gaze, pushing the boundaries of what is allowed in a medium that allows everything. The girls relax from playing in the water, playing volleyball, or enjoying a bath, only to realize Shadow has given them a day off. Yeah, that was the whole fucking episode, solely for fan service, with this many waifus exposing themselves in disregard.
a lot of animes do that. Like, come on, like he has to be serious, bro. A lot of animes do this. A lot of animes, dude. I'm speaking like a lot of animes do this, bro. So it's nothing new, nothing we haven't seen before.
The only way you can get a reward like this in real life is if you leave a like and subscribe. Please leave a like.
I don't know if you guys ever noticed when you watch like a swimming pool anime or an anime where they go to like the beach, the swimming pool. Those are literally the fan servicey episodes, legit, on slice of life or romance. They always do this, so like it's nothing new.
And subscribe. I'll be honest, when it comes to the larger plot of the series, it's better to just ignore it, because trying to figure out the plot sometimes, it's like an unsolvable puzzle. Like, what are we doing here? We're at the spa. Why are we at the spa? Because it's a fucking spa. Look at the waifus and smile. What, are you too good for waifus now? Huh? You grown up now and 2D characters are too good for you. Well, hey, sometimes waifus and spa are all an episode needs, and that's okay. But I'm sure, as you can tell by now, there's a lot of double-edged swords in this show. For example, with any type of satirical anime that has a lot of jokes in it, the more jokes you have, the more likely you're gonna miss. And they do a pretty good job of always being funny, but there's gonna be some episodes where it drags or gets a little annoying. For example, right, a huge part of the series is that Sid uses his knowledge from his past.
Season 2 is what really, I think where there's just too many jokes. They're throwing too much, you know? And that's where I'm like, dude, like, these characters are so freaking cool. I like the whole waifu arc and all that. They became so cool, and I'm just like, damn, I'm like missing it just to be a little bit more serious. A little bit, like a tiny, so I can just enjoy the series, bro.
Past life to give his legion of waifus ideas where they monetize it to be the first to do it in their world in terms of clothes, chocolate, music, and so on. So in season 2, the waifus decide to make a bank and create a dollar currency, and then there's a whole episode run where they do some finance.
Okay, this was in the beginning of season 2. This was actually not that bad, you know? Or was it after I don't know, man. I don't care, honestly.
Bullshit with inflation and fake money to raise the value of gold and take all the gold and sell it for more paper money. And at first that's sick, but then it just goes on for 4 to 5 episodes, and when something's trying to be quirky and funny and a little smartsy with this, it just starts to get annoying after a while. But at the same time, there's some plot moments that are genuinely good and interesting, with some that are gonna hit and some that are gonna be doing a bit too much.
As you hear, his same complaints are only on episodes of season 2. Season 1 was great. I'm telling you, Eminence and Shadow, season 1 was perfect. You're going to hear 0 complaints from him from season 1. But season 2 is where it starts getting a bit, okay, some of this is kind of boring. Some of this is kind of weird. You know?
And the main avenue of this is the female cast, and they can fulfill whatever horny desire you have. We have quiet girls, cat girls, leader girl, crazy girl, clumsy girl, super crazy girl, nerd girl, super quiet girl.
And that's when it becomes too much, bro. A perfect number of waifus is maximum 8. Any more than 8, it's too much, bro. It's too much because everybody needs screen time. Everybody needs this and
popular girl, princess girl, strong princess girl. There's a lot of female characters and a stacked voice acting cast too. Alpha is voiced by Nobara Hori and Mai's voice actor. Delta is voiced by Power and the JoJo girl. Alexia is voiced by Tachibana and Mitsuri. Beta is voiced by Rem. And Jesus Christ, ReZero fans, we got another delusional one of you here because I have no idea who the fuck Rem is. Point being, the female cast, while being basic, they all give good performances and fit. I mean, with there literally being 1,000 waifus, they're always going to be simple and a little one-dimensional, but their dynamic and performance makes it genuinely one of the most interesting part of the series beyond all the degeneracy going on. And
oh, no, it doesn't. Like, no, dude, it's nothing that deep. Like, it's pretty plain.
Seeing how concerned they are for Sid, it reminds you that you are single, but also seeing how they interpret his messages and how much they actually care for him. And it's always super funny because all Sid will do to their affection is drop a one-liner where he pulls something completely out of his ass and they take it as gospel.
And that's when the anime for me started becoming corny, especially like the relationships of like, there's no relationship development. There's no like, okay, cool, we're gonna go a little bit higher, or him being a fuckboy, or him being like he was just the mellow, nonchalant dude. That's why, as you can hear, he's like, he pulled shit out of his ass and then he just started talking like, oh my god. At a certain point, it's like, okay, cool, it was funny season 1, season 2, jeez.
Ask why they're not doing something or how he's doing, he'll be like, no, I need to take a shit. They'll be like, oh my god, how do we not think of that? Komen asai, Sid-san.
Bruh, come on.
It would actually go down like that in the show. But even the characters not a part of his legion of waifus are really strong in writing, and I think it's clear the writer is insanely good at writing tragic stories and making you feel bad for characters. Like, let's take this wholesome character, Sherry. So Sherry is supposedly the smart...
Now, the writers are really good. They're really good. They're really good. When it comes to story writing, they're incredible. Season 2, yeah. I've been complaining about season 2.
Character in the series that lives with her father alone because somebody killed her mother, and she was there and found the body, and then this guy took her in and became her father. So she's become quiet and reserved, and she's doing deep research into some bullshit, whatever the fuck, I have no idea. And she runs into Sid, typical rom-com bump. They lump eyes, but dump, move on. Then a little while later, Sid finds her, gives her a box of chocolates, and from there, of course, she will love him forever. Then as she's going to approach him and develop their relationship, their school is attacked and her classmates start dying, and she has to work with Sid to save them, and her father, who also worked at the school, has gone missing, so they need to find him too. Surprise, surprise, the father was not only behind the attack, but the father was the one who killed the mother and never told Sherry. So Shadow now, after finding out that the father is a killer and crazy, he kills him, and then Sherry walks in as to see another one of her parents dying, and Sid nor Shadow ever tell her the truth that the man that took her in is the one that killed her mother. Then Sherry, the sweet nice girl, completely loses it and dedicates her life to killing Shadow and gives up all of her other ambitions. Yeah, it can get pretty fucked up. I know that was a little complicated. It will make you think like, wait, damn, what the fuck?
Nah, that was a pretty mid. Pretty mid. I get the whole story and premise, but like pretty mid. Like, dude, this man, all she gave him was a box of chocolates. Now she's his enemy for life because of like, yeah, no.
What just happened there? And there's similar sad storylines between two princesses feeling like they're not good enough and letting people down, or the Legion of Waifus.
That was good. The two princesses, that was a pretty good story.
Feeling like they're not good enough. Like, I don't know how depressed the manga is because shit gets so dark. It's like, god damn, what the how did you, why would you even...
It gets dark, but then there's always like the whole comedic aspect about it. That's what makes it like a turn off. And like at a certain point, man, I just wish they could just fall in and rain down on some of the stories, because there's just too many stories, too many story switches, too much. Dude, it became underwhelming, because too much of something becomes bad. Like, it's just too much. It's like too many waifus, too many this, too many that. Sid doesn't really develop a character connection with some of the characters. He kind of just uses these girls in order for him to just be kind of like free. And yeah, no.
Steve, what is wrong? Go to therapy. And this writer, it's really like one of those kids in class that gets all B's for the most part, but every once in a while, he got to ace a test that everyone else failed, just to remind everyone he's making a choice not to get good grades. And it's not because he's dumb, it's because he's just a little lazy. And this author, more often than not, likes to use his skills to set up a bunch of sick fighting scenes. There was this whole plot line where Sid saw the sun.
The fighting scenes in this show is really freaking good. This is what really made me love the show. Yeah, sometimes they do get mid, but season 1, the last episode, the fighting scenes between the two sisters, holy smokes. The princess sisters, that was goated. That was freaking goated. That really stuck in my memory. That's why I was so excited for season 2.
Was red and went into a deep, chilling anime speech where he was like, "The sun is red, the night is wry, we must perch the skies as the end is near." Completely pulling it out of his ass. And this led into a badass 3-episode run where vampires come to life and a vampire queen comes back from the dead. They have this huge ass battle, characters almost die, and it really leaves you almost wondering if this show is about a schizophrenic man.
This was actually an 8 out of 10 saga. This was pretty good. I liked the beginning of this. This was the beginning of Eminence. This was sick.
maniac that is about to die, because how is everything he's saying coming true? We have vampires, terrorists, cults, everything, and both personalities can get women. Like, too much is going right for him right now. But Sid being strong enough to fight people like this, it might have been explained at some point, but honestly, I missed the explanation or I forgot. It literally has no impact on my enjoyment of the series whatsoever. There's whole plot lines where I did not know what the fuck was going on, but the fight scenes and just the character interaction and the conversations were enough to let me know what was going on, and more than enough to entertain me. I mean, look at this fight.
And that's the problem. You know, if a story is, if the fight scenes are better than the story, that's a problem. That's a big problem, because the fight scene should almost like lead towards like the climax. The fight scene should be the climax of the story, you know, not the whole reason why I watched the show. It's because of the fight scenes.
Look at the effects. I don't care who you are or what you like. This shit is sick. And on top of that, we get waifu fighting too. So even if you don't give a shit about comedy and plot, you get badass choreography and abilities. And when you get into the fact that Sid is playing a character, you almost start to anticipate moments like this.
I'm atomic.
The show grows on you over time, and it feels like you're playing a video game where both you and Sid start thinking, yeah, enough fucking around. It's time to lock in and blow shit up. And oh my god, it is so rare for fight scenes to be this fun and epic, and they pull it off so well. And I know the post-Demon Slayer and JJK age is an unreal standard for animation and art styles, and for isekai standards, this is like a 9, only behind...
Yeah, this is, for isekai standards, this is like a proper 9 or 10, somewhere there. Because, yeah, a lot of isekais are kind of... trash, you know, but yeah, this is a really good isekai. It's good. It's up there. It's up there.
ReZero Mushoku Tensei. But what really sets the anime apart is the fact that it just doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, one of the main villains is literally called Pervy Asshat. Like, that is...
You don't understand how Pervy Asshat, that name was such a turn off. Because every time they would say the name, I'm just like, like it ruins immersion. It takes me out of the show. It makes me feel like, I'm watching an anime. It's stupid anime.
Literally his name. And even with Sid wanting to play along in his power fantasy, you can tell they are openly making fun of themselves and the genre, and it's just so much fun to watch. But what is more fun than the Eminence in Shadow is this video right here where I roast 100 anime to oblivion. Go be pissed off, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and we're just getting started. We're gonna stay consistent, and I will see you in the next video.
Yeah, pretty cool video. Pretty cool. One more from Eminence in Shadow. I guess the show as it is, it has its people which will love it. But for me, it was like, okay, maybe this is not for me. Like, you know, sometimes I get to a point where I just stop watching certain anime because I'm just like, nah, this is not for me. I want a show that is just every single episode I'm excited to watch. I don't want now, okay, this is good. Okay, the fight scenes. Okay, this. No. I want to be excited. I want something that I can't wait to just watch it. You know, that's what I want from an anime. But yeah, you guys tell me how you guys feel about Eminence in Shadow. It's not bad. You know, it's not bad. It's pretty cool. It's up there. It's one of the coolest isekais that are out there. And for isekai standards, for me giving it an 8 or 9, yeah, it's up there. So yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.